Hi everyone. Making videos is tough. There are things in the way, stuff to take care of, or sometimes I just kinda don't feel like it. But I still play plenty games. So here are some games I played in the meantime. Enjoy. Xbox the original enjoyed a fair share of PC ports in its time. Unreal Championship was one of such. It was the UT 2003 making the ungraceful jump to the console. But Unreal Championship 2 is a different thing entirely. Epic must have noticed that this won't fly on the Duke, so for the sequel an entirely new combat and movement systems were developed. Game is to be played in third person primarily. You get tons of mobility, really robust melee options and abilities. It plays amazing, but it's a multiplayer game, so single player is just a long stream of bot matches and multi takes ton of effort to get into. I rate it, please don't let it be forgotten, out of 10. One thing that always fascinated me were the cries of fans of this or that multiplayer shooter claiming that the game used to be so much better before it was spoiled by needless updates, nerfs, dumb characters or whatever. So I gave Ubisoft's newest cash grab a chance day one, before they ruin it. I like the hero abilities and game modes that, while uninventive, require some amount of thought to play. XDefiant is at its best when your team knows how to use their shit, and I had my best fun when I was proving myself useful. The biggest feat and the greatest shame of this game is that it feels like COD. It is the free COD, the COD at home. It plays really familiar, to the point that it gets written off as a shameless COD clone, which is not wrong but also not entirely right either. Cooperative game modes and abilities are enough to give this game at least a bit of a unique aftertaste. Match flow is not COD, and that's neat. One thing that we all have to level with is the fact that this game was either conceptualized or castrated by a conference room filled with people that don't give a fuck. And maybe the codification of XDefiant was a part of it. Or it wasn't. Fuck knows. Big Suits for sure had a hand in plenty shitstorms surrounding this game, like the rebranding and the proud announcement of lack of skill-based matchmaking, or the iconic heroes and locations that no one gives a fuck about. And one last thing. Deathmatch. It wasn't here at launch, but now it is, and everybody plays it. Thousands of people run around pointlessly drop-shotting each other with SMGs without ever using precious few mechanics that make this game stand out in any way whatsoever. They are not playing XDefiant. They are playing COD. The free COD, the COD at home. But it won't last. The only reason to play XDefiant for most people would be the cheap COD experience. And with COD hitting Game Pass like now, I don't see that lasting. The game is gonna die, but I'm glad I was here at its birth. I'm going to uninstall it now. I rate it GT Sport out of GT5. Glyph is a marble game, but contrary to my previous experiences with the genre, Glyph is also incredibly agile. Not only you can roll, but also double, triple jump, glide, ground pound, the whole 9 yards. And the game is about carefully chaining all that, like Mario Odyssey. There are different types of levels, my favorites being explorations. Yeah, they are what you'd expect, grabble coins and super coins, but they are tiny. And that's the thing. Grabbing all there is takes like 10-15 minutes and bam, you did a thing. Have some endorphins, next level. It's pretty good and has that leisure pace while still being bite-sized. And you should play it. Out of 10. I have a really low tolerance for roguelikes and roguelites, so if one makes me come back to it every couple days, then it has to be kinda fire. Voices in the walls keep telling me that this is a boomer shooter, but point me to one old-ass FPS with dashing, sliding and a 2-weapon limit, and I will thank you. It's the typical modern boom shoot fare with amazing feel and a map where you can just stand in the entrance to the arena and snipe robots like an asshole, instead of exploring the intricately designed levels like you would in, I don't know, a real fucking boomer shooter. But all is forgotten, because this gunplay fucks. God damn. I rated Resident Evil 4 out of Resident Evil 4. Horizon is a funny series. The first one was pretty good, the second one was amazing, and then it's all a blur. Not because they are that bad, but because they lost their relevance once they weren't the new Forza. And yeah, what Microsoft calls decommissioning doesn't help much. Either way, it's a great game to relax. It's stunning, it feels really good, it gives you plenty new cars to play with, and with the casual, comfy couch and controller approach, it's easy to get into the vibe. You can try-hard it, fiddle with the settings, plug in a wheel, but I'd argue that this sub-series is at its best when you don't care that much about it. Just turn off the radio, it's fucking trash. I rate it Forza Motorsport 3 out of Forza Motorsport 4. It's one of the games I had as a kid. I didn't play it much. I had better stuff, but I kinda remembered it. Turns out it's abandonware, wonder why, and it plays nice with modern Windows, but it's fucking garbage, it's trash. I rate it 3 out of New Vegas. It's a mixture of a farming game and basically Defender. It's an arcade game without the arcade game stakes, as if it was made by a Harvest Moon fan. It's balanced very oddly and it's fucking boring because of it. I don't feel great talking shit about it because the sole dev clearly gives one. Fortunately, it's not his only output. Below the Ocean is a platformer about a little guy in an old-timey diving suit. It's entirely designed around his breathing tube and it's really fucking good. There is a constant stream of new mechanics. Game teaches them mostly organically and dupes them once the well runs dry. There is never a dull moment, and I respect that. This game feels much longer than it is, in the best way possible. It's good, buy it. Out of 10. The original Homefront is a lazy COD clone. They managed to make a reportedly alright multiplayer and a completely forgettable, painfully linear and filled with clichés 3-hour campaign. But this is the new and improved sequel, so instead it's a lazy Far Cry-like. Changing guns by replacing everything except of the trigger group and grip is neat, so is the visible attempt to make occupied regions feel really hostile. It's pretty, sounds alright, but it's also janky, missions are boring, and AI is just A. Homefront relies on the same correlation between progression and the way NPCs, both friend and foe, react to player, but the reactive sandbox is not the size of a giant island. You get access to little urban districts one at a time, where you go from point A to point B a couple of times, and then you have to inspire the people by doing boring busy work, and only then you can successfully liberate some outposts. And then you go to another district. Rinse and repeat. This is going through the motions even more monotonous than the real deal. Even the protagonist is named Brady. I bet devs felt really clever about that one, admitting to their shameless amount of inspiration. It would be funny if the game was any good, but it's aggressively mid. 7 out of 10. And that's it. That's all I have for today. Next time I'm gonna take you somewhere nice, like a tropical island maybe? Yeah. See you then. Take care.